All right, I'm Nick. It's day 5. Once again, we have the M&P M2.0 compact metal frame. We've already put 400 rounds through it. We haven't had any malfunctions. We've done a bit of experimenting with the backstrap. We've gone back to the small size. I like the way it fits my hand. I like the way everything indexes, and I feel like I shoot it best with that. But we're going to experiment again today. I had some questions about how the recoil compares to the Hellcat Pro Comp. We put 1,000 rounds to this, I believe. I don't think we had any malfunctions out of it. This is a fantastic pistol. Pros and cons to everything, okay? They both do carry 15-round magazines, but I'm going to shoot this with the small backstrap first, then we'll shoot that. That way you guys can see how they do. Off we go. Yeah, the small backstrap, it just feels way better. So, yeah, that feels a lot better. I'm going to put one more magazine through here, and then we will shoot that Hellcat and see how it does. This is a very flat shooting gun. Like, there is nothing. It didn't shoot. I felt with the larger backstrap, I had a medium large on there. I felt like it was actually a bit snappier, okay? Once I went down to the small size, it just fits my hand better, and I have more control. Now, I haven't shot the Hellcat Pro Comp in a while, but this is a fine pistol. Obviously has that big old port or comp, whatever you want to call it, so it's pretty loud. One of the things I said about it was, when I shot it, was I didn't like the trigger. Maybe the trigger was a little bit different, took some getting used to. That was a giant flinch, just didn't go off. I think that is flatter shooting. It feels like the Smith & Wesson 3.6 metal frame is flatter shooting. Wow. One of the reasons I wouldn't carry is I'm just not the biggest fan of the trigger. Okay, I think it's a fantastic pistol, but the trigger just throws me off. If it's all you're shooting and you're used to, it's no big deal. Just straight back. And I really want to love this gun. Something I just can't get past really is that trigger. Those flinches are terrible. It's part of life. That's what happens when you go back and forth between shooting guns. That was hilarious. That's terrible. Here's a close-up of this. Yeah, it just points so well for me, and it just tracks so well. Jack's back to just handing me magazines again. Makes things quick. This is probably going to be the last video that we make on the M&P compact metal frame, just because we haven't had a ton of interest in it. There hasn't been a ton of people watching the videos, and I know no one else really has their hands on it yet, so that may be why. And maybe we'll come back to it, put the the rounds between 5 and 1,000 through it. I don't think we're gonna have any malfunctions, but the Springfield Armory St. Victor 9mm 5.5-inch barrel came in earlier today. We're gonna go pick that up and probably shoot it tomorrow. Okay, the names of these things are getting out of control. I do really like this stuff. I like it a lot. I like this version better than the polymer version for sure. It is flatter shooting. Everything about it's smoother. Yeah, it just does a fantastic job. One of the other things about it so nice is if you already have a full size, or maybe you've bought a Smith & Wesson FPC and you have these 23-round magazines, that's nice. So say you wanted to use it as a home defense pistol, say that you also wanted the ability to carry it, you could carry it with the 15, then you could put a 17-round or a 23-round magazine in there, and you have a whole lot of capacity. How do you miss the big target? It shoots really, really well. Oh. Last one. I was going to shoot it right-handed. See how we do. Uh-oh. All right, we didn't even feed around at all. All right, that's interesting. Now, maybe I limp wristed it, so we're gonna go back. But what just happened was we fired around, it ejected the spent casing, but it didn't load around at all. Now, it could be these magazines not being used in there. That's why we test it. It could just be the fact that I limp wristed it right-handed. All right, it did it again. Now, in my experience, when you limp wrist things, it'll failure to feed, not necessarily failure to pick up the round. That's kind of weird. Trying to limp wrist it as much as possible now. I don't feel like I'm really limp wristing it at all. I'm not sure how. Let's just hold it like this. This is how people do random stuff and get hurt. See, that fed every time with no problems, even limp wristing it. So maybe it's a magazine issue. I don't know. But I feel like we got to experiment with it more. However, we are going to shoot that 9mm PCC because that's what I want to do. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, though. Do you think that is a magazine issue? It's really weird because it just didn't pick up a round at all. So it shot the round, ejected the casing, and then it just never, ever even touched the next round. And it could be because you have excess wiggling here. I don't know. I have no idea, okay? So I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. Is that a malfunction? Is that just because we use different magazines? What is it? Outside of that, the gun has been shooting fantastic, okay? So now I feel like we have to put more rounds through it. But before we do that, we are definitely going to shoot the St. Victor 5.5-inch 9mm PCC, world's longest name. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave them down below. Thanks for watching.